Aloha and welcome to this episode of PIP Clips, Tips to Enhance Your Relationship. I am Amy Elizabeth Gordon. I'm delighted to be your host, and I'm here to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart, which is self-care. And why do we hear so many people talk about self-care? What are the benefits of it? Well, I'm going to start with the overview of this little clip today. We're going to talk about the benefits of self-care, a few of my non-negotiables in terms of a daily self-care practice, and explore why doing those things is beneficial. So, self-care, the ability to tend to oneself, to not put the burden of responsibility on others. It's not up to my husband to take care of me or my kids to behave a certain way so that I'm okay inside. It's not up to the weather to perform so that I can do the things I want to do. It's not up to external situations to be just so for me to feel okay. I've really come to a greater understanding and appreciation that this whole quality of life is an inside job. It's up to me and how I'm able to bring myself to a place of serenity, joy, peace, because that stress that was jerking me around for much of my life was too much. And so I numbed out. I numbed out through drinking, through other addictive behaviors, and through waiting around for the one day I'll feel better. The if only this were to change, and what if it were that way? And I lived in a dreamscape. I didn't live in the present moment. And for the last couple decades, I've been slowly but surely bringing myself more lovingly back to this present moment right here, right now, so that I can be a point of presence and light and a guiding principle for others and for myself. And I do that through self-care. For me, self-care is important to feel more resourced, to feel more equipped, to be able to show up in life. One of the greatest things in self-care is asking myself, is doing what I'm doing getting me where I want to go? I'll repeat that. I invite you to contemplate this one today. Is doing what I'm doing getting me where I want to go? That in mind, when I get up in the morning and I do my yoga practice first thing, I know it's going to get me where I want to go. I know it's going to reset my nervous system towards a place of calm and ease and feeling energized to do my day. Otherwise, I tend to, when I don't do my yoga practice, I get pulled this way and that, and my to-do list is raining hard on my head and creating a lot of puddles and mudslides. So I don't get where I want to go. My yoga practice may be a 15-minute breathing, praying, stretching my spine. It may be an hour-and-a-half class that I have the opportunity to go down to the beach to do. It may be a video that I pull up with some of my favorites out there. Tommy Rosen is one of them. Sanatam Kaur is another great yoga practitioner. I do love my Kundalini yoga practice, but I do a lot of different types of yoga to help me recognize that I get to get in the driver's seat of my nervous system, that I get to work with my breath, work with the technology of my being to help serve as a pretty steady barometer of how are things going. And what I mean by that is I can tell, oh, my heart rate's going up a little bit, or oh, my jaw's clenching, my fists are clenching. What's going on? I get to be curious about my physiological response to what's going on around me and use that as a tool to help me stay present, stay loving toward myself, toward others. Some other self-care daily practices for me include, and I just finished it, so you'll see the nasty remnants. This is my beloved's daily offering before he leaves for work. Mark makes the family a green drink. He loves his collard greens and his blueberries, and he puts in some lilikoi. I don't know, every day it seems a little bit different, but it's liquid nutrition. It is it's so, so nourishing. And we've started taking weekends off from it, and I can really feel it. I'm like, why would we take off from our green drinks? So looking to change that habit a little bit. Green drinks, good nutrition, those are a daily non-negotiable. Doesn't have to be every meal, doesn't have to be the hard and tight grip on it that I used to have, which didn't get me where I wanted to go. But it's a daily intentional practice of, yeah, that and hydration. I drink my water probably at least half my body weight in ounces a day. This is just my little office right here. Here's my Mamaki tea that I brewed up last night. I put in some Tulsi, which is a great, what's the word? Adaptogen or something like that. Helps me deal with, stress in a way where I can see it as a natural energy that's coursing through me to help give me energy to do what needs to be done instead of being afraid of stress. The other thing that helps me mitigate that is daily exercise. Again, it could just be that yoga practice, but on better days, it's getting out to the track at sunrise, paddling down at the ocean, going for a run, some sort of exercise. And when I can marry that with being outdoors, it's like the double whammy effect. I love it, love it, love it. It does something for my soul that nothing else can. So I'm covering a lot of ground on self-care, and I just want to say that the benefits of self-care for me are that feeling of being resourced, the feeling of knowing my body and the signals that it's giving me, using my body as a barometer, so that when something happens and I start to have this chemical cascade, this response of stress, of my nervous system going into overdrive, I can use my breath, taking a deep breath in through the nose, which taps into my parasympathetic nervous system, which is basically just saying all is well. And it helps me recognize one of the key ideas that I want to leave you with today. If my response to something is hysterical, it's probably historical. Meaning, oftentimes, whatever's going on, there's like 20% real time of what it is, and 80% of the reactivity is probably linked to something in the past. That's what I mean by historical. And by hysterical, I mean men, women, children, anybody can have this response where it's like, it's like the rug just got yanked out from under you, when really it didn't, but we may respond that way. So if it's hysterical, it's historical. Instead of beating up on myself for that, instead of beating up on the other person for that, instead of waiting around for the, if only this were different, then I'd be happy. I get to take personal responsibility. My ability to respond in that moment starts with my breath, starts with asking myself, when's the last time I ate? Am I hydrated? Have I gotten outdoors yet? Have I moved my body? How do I support myself to be alive with that relaxed pulsation of energy when I need it and the ability to calm down when I need it? The joyful aliveness of being able to look at my daily to-do list and say, oh yeah, I got this thing. There's 10 things. I feel like I have energy for 20. I'm going to do 3. I'm going to pace myself. And tomorrow, if and when I wake up and I don't feel like doing any of it, I can say, I got 10 things to do. I should do 30. I should on myself. I'm going to do 3 and just pace myself. And by the way, I picked the number 3 because that's my favorite number. What's yours? I don't know. Aloha, be well, power in partnership. That's what matters most.